Hey guys, so let's say you bought a car, a phone, hair, or any item at all that is not a perishable goods, yeah? And then when you get home or when it was delivered to you, you discover that that's not what you ordered, or you discover that there's a problem with the item. And then you reach out to the seller, and the seller was like, I don't issue refunds, or I don't accept return. Once you buy them, you don't buy them. First, those statements are illegal to use during trade in Nigeria. And Nigeria has a very strong law that protects buyers that some of you might not be aware of. It's called FCCPA. And one thing in this country is that some of us believe that there's no law in this country. They play, my fans. Just pray you don't enter any problem in Nigeria that involves law, involves you going to court, or even involves police. That's when you know there is a law in this country and they enforce it to the fullest, especially this FCCPA law. Let's say, for instance, the seller said, I don't issue refund, I don't accept return, all these things. They are already going against the law. Because according to FCCPA law section 122, it says that if the item is faulty or not what the seller claimed it to be, you have the full right to return it. And this includes second-hand items. Maybe you bought a used iPhone, used laptop, used car, second-hand items or new, it doesn't matter. As long as it's still within 7 days. Now, let's look at some of the excuses this seller will give you. They will be like, no refunds after payment. Returns are not allowed. So does it is or so does sin. Let me tell you, under section 129 of FCCPA law, it states that any attempt to cancel your right as a buyer is void, even if it's written on the receipt. When you buy some items here, on the receipt, they will write tested okay. When you come back, the seller will be like, should I test this thing before you carry and come out? This one, that one, no, the issue refund is tested okay. That is bull. You understand what I mean? It's BS. Let me put it that way. Let me give you an example here. You want to buy a car. Then when you get to the car lot, you told the seller, I need a clean car. And the seller brought out a car and said, this car is very clean. You now ask the seller, what's the accident history of this car? The car said, this is a clean title. There is no accident, just a minor dent at the back. That's all. You ask, what of the mileage? The seller will say, the mileage is exactly what you are seeing there, 73,000. And then you ask the seller, any fault on this car? Seller says no. You pay. And then while driving the car, let's say 3-4 days, you notice that the car is already showing check engine lights. You understand? Or you started noticing some minor issues, or you observed that the car is actually an accidented car. And then you go back to the seller and say, this car is sold to me, it's accidented car, it's already showing check engine light. And the seller is like, oh, this one, that one, car that you bought since 5 days ago. Today you are returning it. You cannot accept the car. Let me tell you, that's a misrepresentation. And it's under section 123 of the FCCPA law. And you have the full right to get your refund from that seller. And not just the refund,